We are going to do a review of all the concepts that you learned in 7th grade art in one-point perspective. We're going to start by drawing a simple room, and then in that room we're going to put windows, doors, ceiling tile, and then some basic three-dimensional forms on the floor. Just to, all in one drawing, just to see if you can remember how we did some of these things in 7th grade. So this is your drawing paper. What I'm going to have you do first, you can fold it like we did last year. I'm just going to put a dotted line there that's going to represent your eye level or your horizon line. So I use my yardstick, and this dotted line is going to represent your horizon line. Okay, so yours can just be a fold. Okay, don't need to have it real clear. So the first thing we're going to do is draw a room, a one-point perspective room. So what you will be drawing is the room that you're looking straight at, what's right smack in front of you. So it will be a rectangle or a square, somewhere near the middle of your paper. It doesn't have to be exactly in the middle. It doesn't have to be a perfect square. But that's a wall you're looking straight at. Then you put your vanishing point somewhere on your horizon line. It does not have to be exactly in the center because you're not always standing exactly in the middle of the room. Once you have that, we need to get the ceiling, the floor, and the two walls. Now this is the part you've got to remember. You've got to line up the corners of that wall with your vanishing point. So here's this corner, vanishing point, I draw out. Notice it did not go off the corner of the paper because I didn't spend any time centering anything. Bottom corner of the wall, vanishing point, draw out. Again, not the corner of the paper. Same here. And again, if I put the dotted line straight, you can see how that's all continuous. I can erase it. And the last one. So now you can see ceiling, floor, left wall, right wall. Erase a little bit more. Not erasing that. Okay, so now we're going to put some things in this room to remember. Do you remember how we did windows and doors and maybe ceiling tile? So the easiest place to put a window or door would be this wall right here because you don't need to use your vanishing point. It's right smack in front of you. So if I'm just going to put a simple door there, I'm simply going to put a door there. Okay, looking straight. I could put a window there. I could put a circular window. That wall is easy to put things on. The side walls are a little more difficult. I still need to draw the sides of my windows. They are parallel vertical. Make sure your ruler is straight up and down. But the top and the bottom have to use the vanishing point. So as you're standing looking in a room, it looks like they're getting smaller as you go deeper in your room. Notice it uses the vanishing point. Vanishing point. I'm going to do one on the other wall too. Maybe this one I'm going to do two windows. So there's a top window, bottom window. Here's the sides of that. But I also use vanishing point to get the bottom of that window. Vanishing point, top of that window. Vanishing point. Notice I have to adjust my vertical lines. Some of them are too short, some of them are too long. But when I'm all done, there I have windows. Okay, remember that? Now we're going to do some ceiling tile. Remember, ceiling tiles in real life are equal distance apart. So we're going to make sure that each one of these dots, I'm going to do mine every 2 inches. Not quite even, okay. Then line them up with the vanishing point. Remember this, vanishing point, dot, draw onto the ceiling. Vanishing point. Oops. Dot onto the ceiling. Vanishing point. Dot onto the ceiling. Vanishing point. Dot onto the ceiling. Okay, so now it looks like they radiate like rays of sunshine. To get the horizontal crossbars of the ceiling tile, they have to be parallel, but you'll notice as you get deeper in the room, we're just going to kind of eyeball this. That space is pretty small. Keeping it parallel, I'm going to make the space a little bit wider. Keeping it parallel a little bit more wider. So it gives the illusion of depth going into the room. Okay? Hopefully remember that. Now the last thing I want to have you do is put those three-dimensional forms that you learned somewhere on the floor. The first thing we're going to put is a box or a cube. We already got our vanishing point. You can put it anywhere down here. I'm going to put mine kind of off to the side, overlapping my wall. What I'm going to draw first is a square or a rectangle. And eventually this could be a table or a desk or a chair or a couch. I'm going to erase some of the things I don't see. Remember, that's the front of a box. I use the vanishing point that I have. Vanishing point. vanishing point, vanishing point. Okay, erase some of this. It's going to cover up part of my room. I'm not going to see all of it. Now remember what we talked about, right angle. This is a right angle from the front of our box. We need the same right angle on the back of the box. You decide where you want to end your box. And you can erase the extra stuff. Sorry, my marker is smudging. Hopefully you can see that. So now it looks like I have my box sitting on the floor. I could put objects on top of it. I could cut a hole in it. Do whatever you want to do with it, or just leave it be. The last things I want you to put in your drawing, in your review drawing, is a cone somewhere, a cylinder somewhere, and a sphere. Make sure they look like they would look in real life. Remember, you cannot draw a cone like this on the floor because it can't sit on its point. So that won't work for a cone. But I could do a cone like this, sitting upside down on the ground, okay? If I was putting a cone closer to me, I would probably draw it a little bit bigger because it's closer to me, it'll be larger. Put a cylinder somewhere. I'm gonna put a cylinder on top of my box. Curve on the bottom, football shape at the top, and erase, okay? I could put another cylinder maybe over here. Curve on the bottom, football shape on the top, okay? And then the last thing, I'm gonna put a sphere somewhere. I don't have a compass or anything. I'm just going to find something round in your house. So I'm going to put, maybe it's going to go off my page. Maybe there's a big basketball or something in front of my box. So I'm just going to trace around this, okay? Then I want it to look like it's in front of that, so I want to erase this. Okay? So hopefully you remember how to do these things in one-point perspective. This is all we're going to do in one-point perspective. Next week we're going to learn to draw things using 2 vanishing points. Okay? Thanks. Good luck.